Here is a biblical perspective on work-life balance. Regardless of what you do for work and what your beliefs are, here are some words to live by. God's goal in your life is not to make you happy, it's to make you holy. And you become more holy when you go through the trial. He cares more about your character than he does your comfort. It is a fatal mistake to assume that God's goal for your life is material prosperity or popular success as the world defines it. The abundant life has nothing to do with material abundance, and faithfulness to God does not guarantee success in a career or even in ministry. Your well-being is not based on how well you do in your profession. Katie Therms said, "You can't do a good job if your job is all you do." Your identity is not based on what people say or don't say about you at your work. Your identity is found in the one who created you. Ask yourself the following questions and be honest. Are the daily gifts or blessings at my work an idol? Does my work conflict with my trust in God? What is that one area of work I would have trouble giving over to God? What have I allowed to define me? Where is my trust? In the giver or is it in the gift? If work is what brings you joy or hardship each day, it could be that your work has become an idol. If your work can devastate your day, it could be that your work has become an idol. Circumstances at work are not what brings ultimate joy or contentment. When you get to the end of life, are you going to wish you had worked more hours? Do you think you will be mulling over your business decisions and what you could have done differently? I have never heard of someone at the end of their life who wished they had been able to stay longer hours at work. Work is temporary and is a means to an end, but your soul lives forever. How are you refreshing your soul? At the end of life, is Jesus going to say, "I gave you more wealth than most of the world in human history, yet you were never content"? How sad to go through life wanting more money, an accumulation of more wealth, and miss the one reason you were here on earth. How much is enough? Did you know that 80% of the world lives on less than $10 a day? Charles Spurgeon said, "You must keep all earthly treasures out of your heart and let Christ be your treasure. Let him have your heart." What is your purpose in life? When Jesus is your master, money serves you. But if money is your master, you become its slave. C.S. Lewis said, "All that is not eternal is eternally useless." Think of this, you will never feel completely satisfied on earth because you were made for more. We're not completely happy here because we're not supposed to be. You will not be in heaven 2 seconds before you cry out, "Why did I place so much importance on things that were so temporary? Why did I waste so much time, energy, scheduling, and concern on what wasn't going to last?" Don't indulge your ego at the expense of your soul. Your soul lasts for eternity. Remember, records will be broken, tributes will fade, and accomplishments will be forgotten. Think of 10,000 years from now. Are you struggling with the trial you are facing today? Even 5 years from now, is this a worry? Literally, in 5 weeks, you will have moved on. God is the provider, not you. In facing a circumstance, don't ask, "Why me?" Instead, ask, "What do you want me to learn?" Never focus on temporary crowns. The most valuable things in life are not things. Many people are driven by the need for approval. They allow the expectations of others to control their lives. You cannot fulfill God's purposes for your life while focusing on your own plan. Do you want more of God, or do you want to show the world your greatness through what you can accomplish? Hold everything loosely. The more insecure you are, the more you will need others' approval and think that that determines your self-worth or your identity. Louis Giglio said, "The problem is when my feelings take the lead and they write the narrative of the story." Isaac Singer wrote, "Life is God's novel, so let him write it." God is sovereign. Take a deep breath, step back from your situation, and recognize how temporary this is. In light of all of eternity, this is only temporary. Say out loud, "This is only temporary and I'm okay." Lauren Daigle in her song, "You Say," writes, "I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know." Then it says, "You say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, oh, you say that I am yours." Amen to that. When someone says no to you on a sale, remember this: you are a part of their life but are not the focus of their universe. Their decision does not reflect who you are. When you start to overanalyze everything, you will tend to worry. Jesus said, "Who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life?" Cornell University showed in a study that 85% of what you worry about never happens. The study went on to say, of the 15% of worries that came to fruition, 79% of the time, people handled those problems better than they thought they would. Do the math, and you find that there was nothing to worry about 97% of the time. You will never feel at peace or get ahead by worrying about something at your work. From the book, The Horse, the Boy, the Fox, and the Mole, the boy and a horse are in the woods, and the boy says to the horse, "I can't see a way through." And the horse says, "Can you see your next step?" The boy says, "Yeah." The horse responds by saying, "Then just take that." Instead of looking at the end goal for work, take the next step. When we worry about everything that could go wrong, we live in the land of what ifs. Don't spend over 5 minutes on something that won't matter in 5 years. Enjoy the blessing of now and not living in the land of what ifs. Living in the land of what ifs is full of worry, discouragement, and living in the flesh rather than the spirit. In Matthew 6:19 through 21, Jesus said, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Think of Proverbs 3:5. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." If you are fully trusting in the Lord with all your heart, you aren't worrying, you aren't anxious, and you aren't leaning on your own understanding. But if you are leaning on your own understanding, you aren't fully trusting the Lord with all of your heart. Our own understanding will get in the way of everything. Proverbs 23:7a says, "For as a man thinks in his heart, so is he." D.L. Moody wrote, "I have never met a man who has given me as much trouble as myself." Let go and let God. Surrender to God. Instead of trying to force your agenda and control the situation, trust more. Instead of trying harder, try trusting more and praying more. Pray right now for your day and who you are interacting with today. Focus on being thankful for what you have instead of what you don't have. It will renew your attitude on everything. And remember, God is proud of you for who you are, not for what you do. The closer you get to Jesus, the less you need to promote yourself. It's not about you, and don't take yourself too seriously. There are a lot worse things going on all around the world right now than what you're facing at work. Are you living for this life or the next? The end of life is not the end. At death, you won't leave home, you'll go home. You weren't put here on earth to be remembered for your performance at work. You were put here to prepare for eternity. C.S. Lewis wrote, "If we find ourselves with the desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world." What is your goal, ministry or money? I love the quote Dolly Parton said, "Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life." Anne Lamott said, "Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you." As with any challenge at work, it could be worse. And remember this, you are not home yet. I'll finish with this. If you have a tough boss to work for, think of this. Colossians 3:23 through 24 says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as though working for the Lord, not for men, since you know you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving." Hey, if you were able to listen to the whole video, if you wouldn't mind just clicking that like button, even leaving a comment, I would love that. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a blessed day.